If someone inspires you, you can do absolutely anything. Inspiration is about digging into your soul, feeling something, seeing something out there, and it resonating with you to the point where you put in an effort, you go the extra mile, you do something that you wouldn't otherwise do because of how you feel, because of how you've been touched by someone's speech, by what you've seen on TV, by how someone's come across to you. It makes you want to do something you otherwise wouldn't do. I get stopped very positively on the street all the time by young people and old people. They say, "Bless up, Henry, it's great what you're doing." But sometimes they say, "We need more people like you." And I say, no, we need more people like you. Why does it always have to be a famous person or a celebrity? Each one can teach one.
You know what, when you see videos like that, little montages of yourself, you're supposed to feel proud and great. But when I see the way that guy has aged, jeez. It's not good though, Hey, first of all though, Innocent Masuku, thank you so much. Innocent Masuku, you saw him on Britain's Got Talent and he performed right there for you. Nessun Dorma, none shall sleep. Please, come on. Innocent Masuku. And David Dunkley Jimmo put that together. Fantastic stuff. So, hello everybody, good morning, I'm Henry Bonsu. Let me say this, Akwaba, ni karibu. Karibu? Karibu with Kiswahili, which means welcome. If you are Yoruba, you will know this. Bawoni. Bawoni. And if you're from Ethiopia, Tanamanakachu. Is that right? Tanamanakachu? Thank you so much. Hello, good morning and welcome. I'm delighted to invite you to welcome you to this, the 4th UK Black Business Entrepreneur Conference. Yes. It's an annual gathering now that has evolved into a powerful platform for meaningful change. And today we come together as entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers, not just to talk business, but also to try and help shape the future. Now, I'm pleased to say this, your presence, the fact that you are here, affirms what we already know, that despite global challenges, headwinds, as people call them, economic uncertainty, our community here remains resilient, focused, and unapologetically ambitious. Now, this year's theme is business growth and transformation in turbulent times. It had to be, because it speaks to the zeitgeist. Where Carlton, he's the one who devised this, and he said, we've got to do this because, among other things, we're witnessing a full frontal attack on what we accepted as diversity, equity, and inclusion, the need for it, our understanding of it, business opportunities, and equitable investment. We'll explore what opportunities lie despite these challenges and whether, in fact, they can become catalysts for positive change. The conference is proudly built on 3 core pillars: empower, educate, and engage, the 3 E's. And we're committed to delivering on every one of them today. So, what's on the agenda? We'll hear inspirational stories of resilience and success, navigating uncertainty, and we aspire to build legacy. And as well as dynamic panels on the interaction between business and politics, on corporate law and intellectual property, and trailblazing female entrepreneurs, we will hear from a celebrated saxophonist turned university chancellor and restaurant owner, Yolanda Brown. You can. We'll hear from a lawyer who became an international correspondent, TV broadcaster, then an author, and now one of our premier public intellectuals, Afua Hirsch. And a Premier League football star, international star, now retired, who runs a fantastic nutrition business. And I have it on good authority that he's about to earn more money from business than he did as a Premier League footballer. Thomas Hal Robson Kanu. You can also expect a rich, interactive experience in which you'll be able to put questions to them, time permitting, and key external and corporate organizations like EY, MSD UK, and Tesco, who are here to share tangible ways to engage and grow. And a word about one of today's standout sessions, Woman to Woman. It's going to be hosted by the brilliant and former co-presenter of mine, Jumoke Fashola from BBC London. She's one of the UK's most loved radio presenters, and she'll be joined by an outstanding panel of female leaders, including Angie Greaves, Brenda Emanos, Valerie Brandis, Carol Copeland-Thomas, and Christine Giscombe, and Diana Dahlia. And they're going to share their journeys, their wisdom, their sisterhood in their professional, personal, and business environments. Do we have Dr. Lorna Kennedy here? No? Or Edward Adu? I was told that they were foregoing their birthday celebrations to be here. Well, apparently they're not. Maybe they'll come later in time for what we hear is a smorgasbord. Maybe I shouldn't use that word because the food doesn't come from the Nordic countries. It comes from Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe, and Jamaica. So you can expect jerk chicken, curry goat, suya, jollof rice, apparently Nigerian jollof anyway, and plantain, not plantain, plantain, and Zimbabwean dovi, pure nourishment to feed your belly and your soul. We'll close the day, if you're sustainable, with a cocktail reception. It's going to be a chance to unwind, to connect deeper, and to raise a glass to progress. Word of housekeeping, we're not expecting any fire drill today, so if you hear the sound, it's real. So leave through the doors at the back and assemble outside. If you need to go to the bathroom, go out to the right, and again, turn right. In terms of innocent and that piece, Nessun Dorma, some people were wondering, well, what's the connection? Well, if you know that aria, it means none shall sleep. And some people often say, as a community, sometimes we sleep on the job. We need to be more engaged, more dynamic, recognize the times we're in, respond. And so it's not just an aria, it's a call to consciousness. It's a metaphor reminding us that in these times of disruption, we cannot afford to be complacent. So it's our moment to stay awake, focused, and woke, and relentless in delivering change, the original meaning, delivering change, driving growth, and shaping a future that reflects the brilliance of our businesses and our community. So once again, let's welcome you to the UK Black Business Entrepreneur Conference 2025. Right, I'm delighted now to introduce our very first speaker, who in his own inimitable, and I mean inimitable way, will help frame our discussions. He is, let him stay in his seat for a second, Lord Hastings of Scarisbrick, CBE. He's an independent peer in the House of Lords, a distinguished leader in education, public service, and global development. He's a chair of SOAS, University of London, professor of leadership at the Stephen R. Covey Institute, and vice president of UNICEF UK. His CV is too great to mention, so before you see him in action, let's have a quick look at his highlights. Ron VT.
Most of you are here today because you're probably thinking about how do you make and create big, strong, successful businesses? How do you become the engines of the future? How do you maybe possibly become the man who or woman who makes Uber or Airbnb or whatever it happens to be, the next founder of Microsoft 2020? That could be your dream. But if that's the limits of your dream, what kind of world will you have created? It's far too easy to have ignorance trump intelligence when you're driven by self-deceit and just pure promotion. So yes, aim to be extremely successful. Learn the best tools and techniques in the course of the day. Have your heart focused on these objectives.
I'm sorry to cut him down to his prime, but here he is in the flesh, Lord Hastings.
I think, am I meant to sing to this? Oh, thank you. Bit of reality. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see many of you again and again and again and again. And you've been faithful, regular attenders, so I've seen you again and again and again. Good morning, everyone. When we had that Nessun Dorma, I was just thinking, wouldn't you want that just to keep going? I'd rather that than listen to me or anybody else. That was just overwhelmingly fantastic. Wonderful. And this is the Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference. So I'm going to begin today. I know you'll all get your magazines later, but towards the back of the magazine, there is a full-page promotion for my own son. So I'm going to call him up so you can see him. And he's wearing his business. Come on. He told me not to do it, which is a good reason, therefore, to do it. So Reese, you are wearing Believe and Achieve, which says in the magazine here that it's built on the values of resilience, ambition, and self-belief, empowers individuals to chase their dreams and to break barriers, offering high-quality apparel for adults and for kids. It blends Believe and Achieve style with purpose, inspiring confidence wherever you are. Whew. That's the only clothing brand that does that. So I want the dear friends here to know why. You've got exactly 1 minute to tell them. Here we go.
I've always been like a people's person, and I use my experience that I had in life to kind of build something, and Believe and Achieve is exactly that. As much as I make clothes, it's more about the meaning and impact. We do a lot of prison work, and we go into the prison, and all the guys are in Believe and Achieve, and people of all ages kind of fit into that category. And with my profits that I get from Believe and Achieve, it's all good about success and money, but it's about how do you impact others. So I use my money as part of my profits to look after families in Kenya, those that are less fortunate. So it's not about, for me, success is how do I put positivity and lift others up. I don't want to be the star of the show. I want everyone else to be the star of the show. And I want to use my experiences and my knowledge and my wisdom to build in others. So, yeah.
Next and last question. So some clothing brands, you know, things that might begin with trap, for example, and various others which are infamous in the black world, speak entirely about negative things, like drug trafficking. Why do we choose those things rather than choosing positive statements like believe and achieve? What's the love for looking negative?
I actually don't know the answer to that question, but I guess throughout the whole journey, I've just seen that it's more than clothes, and you believe what you wear, right? If you're in expensive designer clothes, you actually have some thought process that you think that you're rich. So I feel like when you've got something positive on, you can have that kind of swag and that confidence about you to know that you're wearing something positive. I feel like when you've got something negative on you, it don't fulfill you. And we're here to live a purpose, right? So I want to be in something that feels purposeful. And all of my customers, I've got unlimited. I can release 50 pieces today. I can tell you 50 customers off my head that will come back because it's more than clothes. I build a relationship. I drive around London and deliver all the packages by myself. So I'll be out from 9 in the morning to 12 o'clock at night, but just building the relationships. I don't make it a transaction where it's, here's your clothes, let me get my money. Every single person I meet, I get to know. And then by the time you know it, they become my friend. So it's more than just a clothing brand. It's the lifestyle. So, yeah.
Big up, believe and achieve. Go on to, if you're in that thing called Instagram, you can go on, or any other social media, you'll find, and it's in the magazine, Believe and Achieve LDN, London, you'll find it, and order quickly. So, moving forward, turbulence, disturbance, distress. Our technical world is as equally frustrating as our complexity of global dynamics. What a week it's been. When you watch what we have all observed, and I hope some of you haven't been living under a rock and you've realized we came very close to the Third World War, and a group of serious people, because I'm in a serious place in Parliament, a group of serious people asking, how close are we? And what does it mean? And then I had a conversation yesterday with an AI expert who leads a very big cyber AI and technical business, who said to me, the way in which weaponry is being constructed, decisions around launch and attack will shift from the mind to the AI determination. So it could be that the president of and the prime minister of and the president of determined to attack, but the AI system says, no, not now. In which case, you can press the button as many times as you like, it ain't happening. In fact, if you've been catching up with the latest round of movies in the last year, you've seen films like that. Things are moving out of our control. And as they move out of our control, we become less and less significant. And the determinations are replaced by technical opportunities. I've heard a statistic yesterday that the average 10-year-old today, based on the projected lifespan of the future, taking them to around about 85, will spend 25 years of their 85 years just on the phone. Non-stop. 25 years just on the phone. That's what we've become. You happy with that? I read it on the BBC News, and it must be accurate because Henry's there. So, oh, well, I don't know. That's related to Rupert Murdoch, isn't it? So therefore, it must be inaccurate. I read on the BBC News, yes, I used to be head of public affairs at the BBC, always accurate. I read on the BBC News that Amazon's boss, Andy Jassy, says AI will replace jobs at the tech giant. What? We used to say to young men and women coming out of school or coming out of anywhere, you know, you can always go and work for Amazon. You've said that, haven't you? There's jobs at Amazon. Well, Amazon, which currently employs 1.5 million people around the world, it makes it the second largest single employer, is expecting that they're going to lose a minimum of a third to possibly a half of all their global staff based on AI and technical innovation. You no longer can say to people, go and get a job at Amazon. In fact, go and get a job anywhere. Here we are in the City of London, and people will tell you that if you're saying to the next generation, you've got a good quality degree, there's an open opportunity for you here at NatWest, or at any of the big banks, or any of the big foundational organizations, or the finance institutions, or the big businesses that we've always become used to, go get an internship. The answer is join the queue. It isn't happening anymore. So this means that we have to think about ourselves very, very, very differently. We can't make the assumptions we made in the past. But I'm going to take you slightly to the past. Because I really firmly believe that as the world becomes shifted so much more directly towards technical determination, information that is beyond our capacity to think it through with speed, as that happens, and as we're trying to keep up with it, there is also another dimension. The second largest job sector in the world after technical opportunities is healthcare. Because people are living longer, but worse. Spending 25 years of your life on the phone is not building your well-being, it's building your rust being. We're eroding ourselves by all the privileges we take on. So let me take you back to listen to the world's longest serving global chief executive. This is a remarkable man called Jack Welch. Jack Welch was CEO of General Electric, the most comprehensively profitable revenue-driven business in the United States and worldwide up until the 2020s. General Electric produced in over 160 countries in the world, made everything from engines to shavers, aircraft engines to shavers. He was the CEO for 20 years, When Jack Welch left in 2001, then died in 2020, when he left in 2001, he left with a 470 million payoff. That tells you how valuable he was to the business. This is what he said, predictively, that you and I need to be.
What is the role of a leader? Well, the first one clearly is to be the chief meeting officer. To let everyone in the place know where you're going, why you're going there, and most importantly, what's in it for them to get there with you. People like to talk about where they're going, why they're going there, but they always leave out the third thing. When you come into a new job and you say, we want to change. Change is great. We got to do it. You forget people hate change. You got to explain what's in it for them to change with you. So be the chief meaning officer and give meaning to every one of those people that are out there doing that job so that they understand why you're going where you're going. And they know what's in it for them. Better job, more pay, more flexibility, maybe nothing if you can't say nothing. But you gotta understand that's one of them. Another part of a job, your job is to not give all these directives and not be the person getting rid of the clutter. Getting rid of clutter is a huge deal. You can't all of a sudden have bureaucracy. Let's go here, let's go there, then have 20 rules to stop the employees from getting there. You've got to break down all those little silos that occur, all those little bureaucrats who are checking the boxes in some layers, slowing you down. You've got to be the person we always use this analogy of curling. You see it every 4 years in the Olympics with the broom out in front of the thing. You've got to be brooming away the stuff that's in the way. You've got to be the chief broomer out there to get rid of things so people can act and do things. You've got to have, if you want to be, in my experience, and I've looked at thousands of managers in my lifetime, you've got to have a generosity gene. It's got to be in your body. You've got to love to see people promoted. You can't have a jealous vein where you can't, oh, Joe got promoted and I should have got that job, or Mary got this and Pete should have got it, or whatever. You've got to enjoy people's success. You've got to love people's success. You've got to get in their skin and really be excited as hell for them. You've got to love to give raises. You've got to be turned on giving bonuses. It's got to make you feel great. And not, geez, I gave him a bonus and I didn't get one that big. None of those feelings. You got to just get over them. And if I look at all the leaders I've seen, the best ones I've seen have this generosity gene. Ask yourself, do you have it? Or do you have a little small gene in there that's killing you to give raises, killing you to see other successes and jealous in your body? You can't have it. Brush it out, clean it out. And then you go to work every day, finally, to really have fun. Are your people having fun? Find all kinds of ways to win. There are small victories all the time, and celebrate every one of them. We found a way to bring a keg in on everything. Find a way to make little victories big victories. And if you get a lot of little victories, you'll get a big victory when you add them all together. But think of the job that way. Work is fun. And your job is to make it fun if you're a leader. Don't be some grinding horse's ass. If you're a bore, slap yourself. Think of the excitement and fun you can have in your job. Make it fun. Be the chief fun officer. So in my view, you've got a huge responsibility, most of you. God gave you a job where you are responsible for people's lives. It's a big deal. You got families you're responsible for. Make it a big success for them. You got one of the luxuries of life, to impact people's lives. grab it, squeeze it, and take advantage of it.
So you see, in the face of all that is going to take place around us, all the change, all the innovation, all the technical power, all the AI, what kind of human are we going to be? What kind of leader of caliber and character are we going to be? My only other slide is this one. Look at what's happening here. Slow success builds character. Fast success builds ego. Everybody wants to win, but we need to wait. We need to see the other people. The ones that in the rush of self-importance, in the I must make it, I will do it, I'll be a millionaire by 35, and then you find they haven't even got there by 55. In the rush constantly to be better, we run by all those who need the holding, helping hand. I grabbed this book this morning out of my office, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Have any of you read it? Some of you have. This is a remarkable book. He lost his wife and his daughter to the Holocaust. They were left, burnt and killed immediately in Nazi Germany. He survived, got through the death camps, came out, became a philosophy professor, began to teach around the world, died in the early 90s, mid-90s. He said this: don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and the more you make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. The more you're going to miss it, for success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as the unintended side effect of your dedication to a cause that is greater than yourself, or is a byproduct of your surrender to a person who is other than yourself. Happiness must happen. And the same holds for success. You have to let it happen by not caring about it. I don't want you to listen to what your conscience commands you to do and go on carrying on other things outside and away with that knowledge. Then you will live to see what in the long run, in the very long run, success will follow you precisely because you've forgotten to think about it. So this morning, as we head into greater uncertainty, and somebody asked me yesterday, is the Third World War coming? I said, yes, it is. Don't be naive about it. When's it coming? In your lifetime, I said. Get ready. But while we're doing that, be great people. Thank you.